Women-only running events are on the decline, but that's because women dominate at most co-ed races these days, making up 57% of the 17 million U.S. race finishers in 2015. So what's to account for the explosion of women runners over the past few decades? Joining us now for the story is WSJ reporter Rachel Bachman. Rachel, thanks for being with us. It's amazing to think that as soon as the 80s, the women were not competing anywhere nearly as much as they are now. What happened over the past few decades?
Well, like a lot of things, this started with Oprah Winfrey. In 1994, she finished the Marine Corps Marathon. She was 40 years old at the time, and she did not look like the typical marathoner, which was a young, slender man. And this inspired millions of women who increasingly joined her.
And increasingly joined seriously. They're running marathons and they're winning. They're winning money. They're signing up for races. It's very impressive.
It is. It is. I think what's even more interesting is the millions of women who do it just for fitness and for overall health. They're the bulk of these finishers. You know, I mean, almost 10 million women finished a race last year. It's really remarkable.
And you spoke to editors at running magazines who say, hey, we were covering this and we didn't see this coming.
Yes, I talked to an editor at Runner's World who said they got a call in the mid-90s from Race for the Cure saying, hey, we've got 10,000 women running this race in the Midwest. And he said they actually laughed. They were so shocked that there were so many women, and he said we didn't see the tidal wave coming until it basically crashed over them.
Until it's here. Now, we've done stories before about how millennials are not quite as much into running as the previous generation. Are you seeing that with women millennials as well?
Yes. In fact, the bulk of the women we're talking about are really 30s and 40s. They form the bulk of the runners here, and they've done things like start social groups and support groups and training groups, and so it's also a very social thing for women. They kind of get their exercise and they're socializing all at once.
So it's running the gamut from sort of small, informal, social running groups to really serious athletes, correct?
Yeah, absolutely.
Very interesting. Now, so why do you think then this means that women-only events are on the decline? Women just don't feel the need for that.
Yeah, I think that's it. That, you know, it used to be that women really were outsiders. There were a tiny fraction of the people at races, and they would feel very out of place. And now they're the majority at most races. You know, 61% of half marathon finishers are women. So it's become almost a female rite of passage to run that race.
And Rachel, you're a runner, correct?
I am.
Have you noticed the difference through the years?
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, some races almost feel like a women's only or largely a female event. You see it in the numbers, and it's kind of fun.
Is that exciting to you? Do you feel like you have a sort of group, a sisterhood with you?
Absolutely, yeah, definitely. And even just training in the park, you know, it used to be fairly unusual to see a woman running, you know, 15, 20 years ago, and now it's absolutely the norm.
It's true. Yeah, I've never been a runner myself, but maybe I'll take it up after the story. That sounds very exciting. Rachel Bachman, thank you so much for that.